Welcome for those who are joining us for the first time, and welcome back for those returning to a BornCEO Leadership Academy. This is our Monday night mentoring where we discuss different ways that and topics pertaining to breaking through to our next level of who we were born to be, what we were born to do, and some of the challenges that we face along the way. So I'm super excited to be with everyone tonight. And we're going to start off with our introductions and jump right in so we can have some more time for our content this evening. But just a reminder, what is this BornCEO movement all about? What is this BornCEO message? It's a reminder that you are the BornCEO of your gift. You were born in this generation to help solve an important problem in this world. Your true gift is God's solution to the problem you were born to solve. All the resources you'll ever need are connected to your gift. And without you, this world will continue to suffer. But when you discover your true gift, embrace your true identity, and become the leader you were truly born to be, this world will never, ever be the same. And so thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for discovering who you were born to be. Thank you for discovering what you were born to do. And thank you for being willing to release that gift inside of you. If you are familiar with the great late Dr. Miles Monroe, one of his most powerful quotes is that the graveyard, the wealthiest place on earth, is the graveyard. And it's so sad because in the graveyard are so many people's gifts that get buried that never were delivered to this world. God put all these gifts inside of us to deliver, just like he puts the seed of an apple in an apple tree for that tree to bear fruit and serve apples in the world. He's put a gift inside of each and every one of us. And so many people have gone to the grave before they ever serve the gift that they were born to serve. We're on a mission to change that here with BornCEO Leadership Academy. That's what this mission is about. And we know the world is a completely new place because you lived. And not only did you live, but you lived your purpose. Some say, like the great Les Brown, he says, die empty, right? Like get it all out, leave it all on the table. And I truly believe Dr. Miles Monroe actually lived his message, and he left it all on the table for us with all of his books, all of his YouTube videos, all that he learned in his life. He served his gift to the world before he left. And that's our mission, to rob the grave. So put that in the chat, rob the grave. We are not sending our gifts to the grave. So I want everybody to imagine, once again, imagine that you're already completely financially free. All of your bills for your family are more than paid. You have an extra 40 to 60 hours per week because you no longer need a job. If you could only do one thing to make a positive impact in this world with your gift, what would that one thing be? Who would you serve? What problem would you solve in this world? And you know, the first answer you have might be your first answer. And the more you do soul searching and share again, it can evolve. And that's okay. We just want you to tap into it and share it, speak it. There's something that happens when you share it in a safe environment. You speak it out, and then you get more clarity, and you come back and share, and then you take a little action on it. And all of a sudden, your dream gets clearer and clearer as you pray about what you were put here to do and who you were born to be. So this is the introduction for those who are brand new. These 4 simple sentences are how we want you to introduce yourself. And when you get to number 2, that's where you'll share that last answer. Like, what is it that, if you could only do one thing to make a positive impact in this world, what would that be? Like, this might be the reason for all your business success. Let's say you make millions of dollars in your business. And by the way, if you're in business, I want to challenge you to earn millions of dollars in business. And I think I heard the best example I've heard a couple of weeks ago in Louisville, Kentucky, when one successful entrepreneur said, the challenges that you face in business are too tough alone for you not to earn at least $1 million plus from doing it. So if you're going to go into business and face all the challenges that come with being in business, you might as well earn millions doing it. Now, I know some of you are like, I don't need millions. I don't need millions. I used to think that as well. And maybe that's true. I don't need millions. Think about that word. I don't need millions. Okay. Maybe for myself, maybe for my immediate family's needs. But is life more than my needs and my family's needs? For purpose-driven people, life is much bigger than my needs and my family's needs. What about my community? What about my faith? What about my calling? What about the work, that thing that's been on my heart to do to transform in this world? What does that require? And so if God is giving you a vision, he's putting something on your heart to make a difference in this world, think bigger, think bigger. You know, I was listening to one of my new favorite mentors. I know I'm already jumping in, but one of my new favorite mentors, Dr. Bill Winston, Dr. Bill Winston. And he broke down something that hadn't been pointed out to me before and I didn't pick up before. And he was breaking down how when the children of Israel were being sent to take on the promised land, to enter the promised land, it was filled with people, the Perizzites, the Hittites, the ites, all these ites. And he was breaking down how those ites are not just a group of people, but each one of those ites represent a different type of spirit, a spirit. And each of them have a separate assignment. And one of those ites, Perizzites or Hittites or whatever you call those ites, parasites, one of them, their purpose is to keep people thinking small, to keep God's people thinking small, so that we never dream big enough to make a big impact that we're capable of making in this world. So sometimes when we're struggling with dreaming bigger and thinking bigger beyond our personal needs, it's not our fault. It's those little devils. And I always talk about those old cartoons where you had the little devil on one shoulder and then the little angel on one shoulder. And the little devil is trying to talk you out of the truth. And then the angel is on the right shoulder trying to talk you into the truth. And whichever one we listen to wins. And so when we struggle with small thinking and we're afraid to dream bigger and we're afraid to plan bigger, or we're a fear of failure, for me, it makes me mad now, even more ferocious. I'm even more unstoppable now because now I know it's not coming from me. It's those little devils that are trying to talk me out of what God is trying to talk me into. And sometimes we've been given major opportunities. Some of you all are in business with me in Legal Shield. Some of you all are starting nonprofits. Some of you all are running ministries. Some of you all have books inside of you. Some of you have arts inside of you that you're supposed to produce artwork, businesses, courses, lessons, whatever that gift is, whatever that dream is that you have. And those little devils are trying to talk you out of it. Trying to talk you out of it, trying to keep you thinking small, playing small, looking for security, relying on the world system to provide for us. Well, for purpose-driven people, our provision does not come from this world. It comes from God. He's got it all. We don't have to rely on this world system, even though that's what's been whispered to us our entire lives. And that's a part of what this BornCEO movement is all about, is breaking free. Not just breaking free in our time, having time freedom, not just breaking free to financial freedom, but breaking free from the lies that are keeping us from becoming all that we were born to be. So my prayer is that this environment will be a transformational environment for everyone here, that we will fully start to align ourselves with the one who created us, the one who gave us our gifts, who gave us our purpose, the one who has every single thing we need. He owns it all the provisions we need, all the money you'll ever need is hiding behind your gift and your purpose. All the resources you'll ever need are connected to your gift and your purpose. All the people who are good at the things you're not good at are connected to your purpose, connected to your divine assignment. When Moses received his divine assignment, He said, I'm not a good speaker. You want me to go speak to Pharaoh? God already had that taken care of. He says, in fact, your brother-in-law is on the way already. So whatever it is that we think that we're not good at or we're not capable of to accomplish the big things, God doesn't do anything small. And so whatever it is that we're called to do, and we're afraid that, well, I'm not good at this, or I struggle with this, or I failed at this before. No, you didn't. You were practicing. You didn't fail at anything. It's not over. You're still alive. So we don't lose. We win or we learn, right? And whatever that thing is that God is showing you to do, putting on your heart to do, he already has everything worked out. He's just looking for us to be a willing vessel to work through, He's going to do it through you. He's going to do it through me. He just needs us to agree and say yes. Somebody put that in the chat. I say yes. So I pray that more people say yes to God today. Yes to your purpose today. Yes to your gift today. Yes to your divine assignment today. Yes to thinking bigger today. Yes to believing bigger today. And yes to moving forward, taking imperfect action on whatever it is God is showing you to do. That wasn't supposed to be the introduction, but I guess it was. So whoever needed that, welcome to BornCEO Leadership Academy. All right, let's go around and do our introductions. I'll kick us off as 4 short sentences. Notice I said short sentences, right? Put some heart into number 2, your ultimate mission. So your goal might be in business. Number 3, your goal might be to produce certain amount of results in your business, for example. But I want you to think beyond the results in your business. Why do you want your business to be successful? So you can do what in this world, right? You know, so let me do mine, for example. So my name is Coach Fard Bell from Sacramento, California, by way of Washington, D.C. And I am the born CEO of my gift. My ultimate mission is to inspire, directly and indirectly inspire over 1 billion people with a B, billion, to discover who they were born to be, what they were born to do, and actually go do it. And become a reverse tither in the process, which means I can live on 10% and give away 90% to help fund the work that I've been called to do. My goal this year is to empower one of my goals is to empower over 12 families in their path to financial freedom. And once again, my name is Coach Fard Bell, and I am the born CEO of my gift. Go ahead and unmute, make some noise. Woo woo!
Go Cubs!
Woo, woo, woo.
Who's next? Jump right in.
Bell.
Woo!
Who's next? Jump right in.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
If my birds go in the background, I'm sorry, they're very active today. Hi, my name is Shelly Jasper from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I am the born CEO of my gift. My ultimate mission is to open up a facility called Divine Angels for aged out foster kids to teach them how to live in life and to become try and get them on a spiritual side as much as possible. My goal this year is to try and find a place for this after visiting the facility in Florida to show me how to do it. Once again, my name is Shelly Jasper, and I'm the born CEO of my gift.
Unmute, make some noise for Shelly Jasper.
Woo,
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 woo.
All right, Shelly.
Right.
All right, who's next?
I'll go. This is Renee. Okay. My name
Take
is
it away.
Renee Brown. I'm from Clinton, South Carolina, and I'm the born CEO of my gift. My ultimate mission is to help others grow their business while educating them in technology and protection services, while establishing a directory trade line with B Junction LLC. And my goal this year is to successfully complete 500 small businesses within 1 year's time. Once again, this is Renee Brown, and I'm the born CEO of my gift.
Everybody unmute, make some noise for Renee Brown.
All right, Renee.
Hey.
All right,
Renee.
Renee.
Go, Renee.
All right, who's next?
I'll go. My name is Nancy Zayas. I'm from the city of Levittown, New York State, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to, I guess it's quite small at the moment because I'm in the beginning of my new life. I've had many losses in the past several years. So my mission is to find myself and better myself. And my goal for this year is to make lives better for others that are close to me. And once again, my name is Nancy Zayas, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift.
Welcome home, everybody.
All
Unmute,
right.
make some
All
noise.
right,
Right,
Nancy.
Nancy. All right.
Yes.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll go next. This is Rita. My name is Rita Borges. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, via New York City, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to create free stores. My goal this year is to stand behind a grocery checker in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and give people on Christmas week and pay for their groceries. Once again, my name is Rita Borges, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift. Thank you.
Unmute.
Go, Rita.
All
Make some
right.
noise,
Go,
everybody.
Rita. Go,
Woo-hoo.
Rita.
Woo-hoo,
Welcome,
Rita.
welcome, welcome home. Who's next?
I'll go next, Coach. My name is Tony Mee Carter from Sacramento, California, and I am the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to own facilities where foster young ladies who become pregnant can live with their children as they pursue their vocational goals so that they can abundantly support themselves and their children and be examples and assets to others. My goal this year is to become and remain executive director and to help 30 other associates succeed and thrive as they achieve time and financial freedom. Once again, my name is Tony Mee Carter, and I am the born CEO of My Gift.
Everybody show Tony some love.
All right,
Woo-hoo.
Tony.
All right,
All right.
Yes.
Way to go.
Way to go.
All right, who's next? Jump right in.
I'll
Hey,
go.
Coach. Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Noemi Leyva, and I'm from Sacramento, California, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to help women heal so that they can thrive instead of just survive. My goal this year is to put together a plan in which to make that happen. Again, my name is Noemi Leyva, and I'm the born CEO of My Gift.
All right, unmute, make some noise for Noemi. Woo woo.
Noemi.
Way to
Go,
go.
go. Way to go.
All right, Miss
Okay.
Cullum. Or Ricky Smith, I think.
Yes, my name is Ricky Smith from North Louisiana. I'm the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to be a mentor of other mentors, and my goal is, this year is to assist 10 families to be mentors to others. And once again, my name is Ricky Smith, the born CEO of My Gift.
Show some love for Ricky Smith,
Woo-hoo.
everybody.
Way
Go,
to
Woo.
go,
Ricky.
Ricky.
All right,
Way to
Ricky.
go.
Way to
Way to go.
go.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Okay, I'll go next.
Miss Cullum.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Pamela Cullum. I am from Santa Rosa, California, by way of Columbia, South Carolina, and I am the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to touch every heart that I encounter, to share my vision, to heal generational trauma, to make us a stronger people, to protect our whys. My goal this year is to elevate my business's mindset to heights unknown and bring others on this ride with me. Again, my name is Pamela Cullum, and I am the born CEO of My Gifts.
Everybody unmute and show some
All right,
love.
Pam.
Woo, woo.
Way
Right.
to go,
Pam.
Pam. Way to go.
All
Keep it
right.
up, girl. Keep it up.
Who's next?
My name is Selena Scott, and I am from St. John's, Florida, and I am the born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to go back in the community and get the homeless people off the streets. My focus in that
are the homeless vets, men and women who serve their country. And I want to rehabilitate them and get them their meds if they need it or whatever they need. I'm also doing the adult and young children. My pastor passed away, and we have property that I want to go back and seize. And I've been mandated to do that, and I'm working on it. And my goal this year is to continue to be connected with those people who know the information so I can get back in the church. We have several different churches, and also to continue connecting with like-minded people who God are going to use to help me move forward in the mission that He's given me. And once again, my name is Selena Scott, and I am the Born CEO of My Gift.
Everybody
Yeah.
unmute, make some noise
Yeah,
for
right,
Selena.
All right, Selena.
Great
Go,
job.
girl.
Go,
Way to
Selena,
go.
way to
Bye-bye.
go.
All right, we'll take a few more. Who's
Okay, I'll
next?
go next. Okay, I'll go next. Okay. My name is Hank Herring from Beaufort, South Carolina, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to build a working community of artists working to realize their gifts and their and what they are able to do for this community within the arts. And my goal this year is to work on myself and to be to develop myself and the leadership, the artist, the business that I have always wanted to do. But I realized that since we've been on this, that I have locked myself away. And I want other artists along with myself to realize that we have a gift and an assignment. And I want to be able to help them find their assignment as well as finding my own assignment. Again, my name is Hank Herring, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift.
Everybody
All
unmute,
right,
make some
Hank.
Right,
noise.
Hank.
Woo!
All right.
Hey,
Hey,
way
way
to
to
go.
go.
Go, Hank.
Hey.
Great job, great job.
Two more.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Take it away.
Okay. My name is Phoebe Dykes from Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to help those who think there is no hope, to let them know that there is hope. And my goal this year is to work on me so that I can become better, bolder, so I can help those people. Once again, my name is Phoebe Dykes, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift.
Everybody unmute, show some love. Woo!
All right,
Take
Phoebe.
this
Good
time.
job.
Way to
All
go,
right.
Way
Phoebe.
to go.
All right, Phoebe.
Yep.
We'll take one more.
Okay, I'll go. My name is Chantel Gant from Pittsburgh, California, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift. My ultimate mission is to help empower small businesses, families, and individuals by providing quality, affordable services to decrease financial stress and a peace of mind needed today. I don't know if I said that's my goal too, at the same all in one. But once again, my name is Chantel Gant, and I'm the Born CEO of My Gift.
Unmute, show some love, everybody.
Way to go,
Chantel.
Chantel. All
Hey, way to
right.
go.
Go.
Great
Chantel.
job. Great job.
Great job.
I don't know about you all, but this never gets old for me. Number one, because it's so, if we get caught up listening to the news and listening to all the negativity going on in the world, I mean, this media will have us thinking this world is hopeless. But when I come into an environment with so many powerful people who have powerful visions to make an impact in their lives and their communities in the world, it reminds me that God already has a plan for all the problems in the world. And that plan is you. You are the plan. Somebody put that in the chat. I am the plan. I am the plan. And so God's put something in you. He wants to work through you, work with you, and we don't have to be afraid. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so encouraged every time I get into an environment with my fellow born CEOs and see what the world is going to look like as we each step into who we were born to be and what we were born to do. Now, guess what? So you're in business, right? And I hope all of us are in business, right? We need more of purpose-driven people in business. We need more purpose-driven people who are managing the world's wealth and the world's resources. We need more purpose-driven people, godly people in government. We need more godly people in every field. They call it the 7 mountains. If you haven't looked up the 7 mountains mandate, I encourage you, look up the 7 mountains mandate. But we need more godly, purpose-driven people at the top of every mountain, right? That's a part of God's plan for us to be the light that shines. Matthew 15, 13 through 17. Let your light so shine before men that they'll see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. He doesn't want this light to be hidden under a desk or under a table. He wants to put the light at the top so we can shine to the whole world, right? And the little devils want you to be small, think small, play small. Let people that are not purpose-driven people, that are not godly people, own all the real estate, control all the industries, be at the top of all the businesses, be in the government and in politics. That's sick, demonic thinking for good, godly people of purpose to think that the people who are not godly people and purpose-driven people, they're supposed to be the ones who are wealthy. They're supposed to be the ones in power. They're supposed to be the ones taking care of the rest of the world. So don't fall for the lies. Turn off the TV, turn off the media, and pick up the truth, the word of truth, so that we can step into who we were born to be, so we can put our crowns back on and be who we were born to be, to take the lead like we were supposed to step into the roles that we're called to occupy until he returns, right? For us to bring that influence of God's kingdom to the earth. And so I'm fired up tonight. Tonight, I'm going to share something with you all I call the 4 stages of freedom. I haven't shared this in a while. And I created a coaching curriculum, and I use it to teach and develop leaders within my Legal Shield business. But these principles apply to whatever you're doing in life, these 4 stages of freedom that I'm about to share with you all. And so, again, how many have ever felt stuck, felt unclear on the direction that you to go in? Have you ever felt, like, who am I to be going after big dreams and goals? Maybe you grew up in an environment that didn't necessarily nurture your greatness. Maybe you grew up in an environment that actually had you thinking differently about yourself, that maybe you were worthless. If you've ever felt worthless before, I can certainly identify with that. And I share that story in my first book, Born to Rule, of how I didn't want to be alive by the time I was 6 years old, because frankly, I felt worthless. I felt worthless. Why do I need to be here? What's the purpose for me being here? And so, thank God, I found out I was put here for a great purpose, that there was something important that I was born to do. And I heard the voice of God tell me that I created you for a reason. I put you here. You're going to help people get free and do what they were born to do. That message was coming to me at 6 years old when I didn't know what it meant. You're going to help people discover their gift. You're going to help people become who they were born to be, discover who they are. And so tonight we're going to talk about 4 stages of freedom. And as you're listening, I want you to think about where you are in these 4 stages. And you might be in multiple stages depending on the area of life that you're looking at. And if you are a people developer, you're one who mentors others, or you coach others, or you're developing leaders, or you have a vision for an organization, whether it's a nonprofit or for-profit or both, but you have a vision to put together and build something that will outlast you. How many want to build a legacy, lead a legacy So these 4 stages apply to all of the above if you want to build something that can grow beyond you and that can outlive you. These 4 stages of freedom are going to be very helpful for you as well. So let's jump right in to what I call the 4 stages of freedom. In fact, how many want to have time and financial freedom in whatever business you're in, whether it's a traditional business, whether it's a network marketing business, whether you're building an agency, whether you're building a school, whether you're building an online business, whether you're a teacherpreneur, you've got a message that you want to share to this world and you're going to build a business around that message. Whatever it is, how many want it to outlive you and to be in a place where your business is still serving people with or without you? That's where time freedom comes from. Time freedom comes from developing a team of leaders who can handle things with or without you so that your business is growing in spite of you, not because of you. I highly recommend learning from the great John C. Maxwell and his leadership principles. I highly recommend one of my favorite books on financial freedom by Robert Kiyosaki. It's book 2 in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series called Cash Flow Quadrant. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, Guide to Financial Freedom. You'll find some overlapping principles in the Guide to Financial Freedom and in what John C. Maxwell teaches about developing yourself as a leader and developing other leaders. In both instances, it's about empowering others to do things when you're no longer there, when you don't have to be there. Empowering other people to manage your enterprise, your organization, to carry forth the vision so that your organization can grow with or without you. In fact, one of the mistakes that people make in business, for those who actually want time and financial freedom, to be free to be who you were born to be and do what you were born to do, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they start a business, but they don't begin with freedom in mind. So instead of building a business that is designed to work without you having to be there forever, instead of starting a business with the picture in mind that, hey, maybe one day I want this to work with or without me. I want to be able to go away for a month to another country and the business still grows with or without me. So how do I need to build it from the beginning with that end in mind? So begin with the end in mind is part of the mindset I want you to have as you're listening to these 4 stages of freedom. And hopefully you'll find some practical things you can implement in not only your understanding and the clarity, but to help other people around you to create freedom from the beginning. For those who don't know my journey, I've been looking for freedom since I was 14 years old. When I found out that time freedom was a thing and that financial independence was a thing where I didn't have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week for the rest of my life, and I could free my time to discover what I was born to do and who I was born to do and live my purpose instead of working for a paycheck for the rest of my life, I wanted freedom back then. And so I set my first goal that I wrote down at 14 years old was to find a way to retire, create enough retirement income by the age of 25 so my time would be free to pursue my life's work. And I was so serious, my email address was retiredb425@aol.com. For those who remember AOL, I think they're still out there. But I was on a mission. So I just needed to, so I was looking at real estate investing. I found out about rental properties and I went, wow, this passive income concept, leverage income, how do you create it? So I became fixated on this idea. How do I create freedom? Because if I can figure this out by 25, I can spend the rest of my life serving my purpose and my gift, which is what I do today. I found a unique opportunity with a company called Legal Shield, where I was surrounded by amazing mentors and leaders who had already done it. And I thought to myself, one, I love this mission to make equal access to justice available for the masses. But two, this business model of referral marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, it is a way for a whole lot of people to get free. It's the best entrepreneurial development program I've ever seen. So I said to myself, even if I don't make any money in this business, I'm going to learn these skills and take these skills and apply it to something that will allow me to get free. Well, fortunately, I was able to create enough retirement income by the age of 22 years old to not have to work a job since 2002. And that freed up my time. I got involved in youth ministry and mentoring, and that eventually led to clarity around my calling, which is mentoring and coaching. And that's what led to BornCEO Coaching, my coaching company, and BornCEO Leadership Academy, which we're experiencing here today with our 501c3 nonprofit. So in the process of figuring out this freedom thing, how do you get free? How do you create freedom, internal freedom and time freedom, and create more financial independence, financial freedom on that path? These are the 4 stages that I've experienced. Stage 0 is what I call the wandering stage. Like the wandering stage. Have anyone ever seen somebody or been that person wandering through life with no aim, no major sense of hope, no major sense of direction? Maybe they've gone through something traumatic in their lives, and it's like, there's no hope. We're kind of wandering through life, no definite aim. So a few things I wrote here, maybe that person is dissatisfied with no sense of direction or hope, or that feeling of being stuck or unable to move past or beyond a certain point, or unsuccessfully trying to get yourself to implement a certain activity or a certain habit or a certain routine. These are the descriptions of the wandering stage. If you've ever been in this wandering stage, or you know someone who's ever been in this wandering stage, put the number 0 in the chat for me. That's the wandering stage. And so that's a scary place to be. I was in the wandering stage. I was so low in the wandering stage that I didn't want to be alive by the age of 6 years old. That's called wandering. I didn't know who I was, why I was, whose I was. I was ready to check out of this place. The next stage is what I call stage 1, and that's the growing stage. The growing stage. The growing stage explains the process for getting unstuck and getting out of stage 0. Whenever you're not consistently doing a certain activity or implementing a certain habit or routine that you want to implement, revisit this process at stage 1. So a couple tips for the growing stage is you want to identify and replace old beliefs. These old beliefs are those little lies. When I talk about the little devil on the left shoulder whispering lies in your ear, and the little angel on your right shoulder whispering the truth in your right ear, identifying those old disempowering beliefs that are keeping us stuck. I'm not worthy. I'm worthless. I'm not good at this. Nobody likes me. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at talking to people. All I need is just enough to get by. All those are disempowering beliefs that were instilled somewhere in us. God did not put that in us. That is not how we were created. That is not who we were created to be. Those are those old disempowering beliefs that need to be pulled up from the root. I was just sharing with one of my business coaching groups earlier. I do business coaching and leadership coaching. And I was sharing how one of my first businesses, accident, right? God was setting me up to learn entrepreneurship early on in life, because there's something about breaking past those limiting beliefs. And when I talk about God and purpose and the kingdom of God, I'm not talking about religion, family. I did not find freedom in religion. I found freedom in truth. I found freedom when I discovered the kingdom of God is not a religion. God's kingdom is not a religion. No kingdom is a religion. It's a government. It's a government, a powerful government. And it's God's inheritance for his children. And he's got a place for us in his government. He's got a purpose for us in his government. And that purpose for us is right here on earth, not in heaven. It's here on earth. He wants us to bring heaven to earth. He wants to bring heaven to earth through us, where heaven is transforming the earth the way it was in the beginning. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But when I understood started to understand the truth about who I am, what I was put here to do, and this is why I highly recommend listening to Dr. Miles Monroe. You know, listen to those YouTube videos, listen to Dr. Bill Winston on YouTube as well about the kingdom of God. I'm even checking out Myron Golden. Those are my 3 favorites right now when it comes to purpose and faith and really understanding who we are. But all of those lies, God created us for greatness. You know, that kings don't work for money, by the way. Kings don't work for money. He said he's the king of kings. We're the kings. We're the little kings. We're not supposed to be working for money. We're not supposed to be working for other people as our primary source. The kingdom, God has all the provision we need. And when we seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, when we align with our purpose, we access all of those. We have access to all the resources that we need to fulfill our assignment. Just like any good government, if they send you on a mission, all of your expenses are going to be taken care of because you're on assignment. And it's no different in God's kingdom. And it's even better because that government will never run out of resources. It will never fail. It will never have a recession or a depression or deal with inflation and struggle. But it's a shift in thinking to understand who we are and what we were born to be and what we were born to do. So anyway, A is about identifying and replacing those old beliefs. B, replacing old thinking habits, right? We pick up old thinking habits from home, from society, from the media, from news, from the culture. And those old thinking habits keep a lid on us until we replace that old thinking. In fact, every time I read the Bible and I see a message about the kingdom of God, John the Baptist or Jesus talking about the kingdom of God, they always start with this word, repent. Repent, for the kingdom is here. Change your thinking. Change your thinking, right? Turn around 180 degrees from the old way of thinking to the new way of thinking, because our own thinking will limit what we can access and who we can become. So C is replace old emotions. Old emotions. How many of us have ever had old emotions that kept us operating a certain way or responding or reacting to life a certain way because we're still operating in old emotions, right? And so these beliefs, old beliefs, lead to old thinking, which lead to old emotions, which lead to old behaviors, habits, and routines. Now, how many of us have ever said, I know better than that? Like, I know what I should be doing and what I could be doing, and I know what I want to do, but for some reason, I'm not doing it. Am I the only one that's ever been there before? If you're able to unmute your camera, please do. Like, let's interact, feed off of each other's energy, see those smiling faces, smile, show all 32s, 20s, 10s, 2s, whatever you got. Let's interact with each other. And it's super helpful for me too, to see those smiling faces. Oh, thank y'all. Thank you. Okay. So how, am I the only one? Or has anybody else ever been in that situation where you're like, man, I know what to do. And sometimes it's something easy to do. Like Jim Rohn is one of my favorites. He always says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What if that's true? If you ever heard Jim Rohn, you know that's how he talks. What if that's true, right? He said, it's not a Snickers bar a day. It's an apple a day, right? And he says, what do I call that? Easy. He says the definition of easy, this is a new thought process that I didn't have before. He said, easy is something you can do. Can I eat an apple a day? Yes. Then it's easy. Can I take a walk around the block for my health? Yes, it's easy. Can I drink water instead of soda? Yes, it's easy. Or drink more water than soda or more water than I've been drinking, right? So he says success in life is not about doing a bunch of hard stuff. It's doing the simple things that we could do and we should do consistently over time. So if we could do the easy things consistently, we'll be successful. Sometimes that little lie is saying, oh, we got to do all these things that we can't do in order to be successful. No, all we have to do is get ourselves to do the easy things that we can do and we should do, and do them consistently long enough for it to bear fruit for us. It's called the slight edge, right? One of the best Jim Rohn programs, if you're taking notes, is called Challenge to Succeed. Challenge to Succeed by Jim Rohn. Challenge to Succeed. And best $40 I ever invested in that program, that audio program. He broke this thing down. But so first I want to establish that it's not about doing what we can't do. It's what can we do? And how can we get ourselves to do the simple little things that we can do that over time accumulate? Can I set aside $1 a day towards my investment account, my financial independence account? Can I set aside 10% of every dollar that comes in before spending it? Hey, listen, I know what it's like to be in abundance. I know what it's like to be in lack. I know what all of that's like. Here's what I found out. When I was broke, putting aside 10%, I was still going to be broke anyway. So I might as well put aside 10% to get unbroke, right? And
Right.
so the concept I'm getting across is it's something that we can do. Simple. What are the simple things we can do in our health, in our wealth, in our relationships, in our career, in any area of life? What are the simple little things we can do every day or every week that would automatically, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, our life would be completely better if we just did the simple little easy things? But then he gave us the reason why. Wow, you're right. It is so simple. If it's so simple and it's so easy, then why aren't I doing it? And then he said the most simple, profound thing I ever heard about this topic. And he said, what's easy to do is just as easy not to do. What's easy to do is just as easy not to do. So how do we get ourselves to do the thing that's easy to do, we could do, we should do, but for some reason we don't? Well, it goes back. Right now we're talking about letter D, which is the doing part, the activity, the behavior, the habit, the routine. But before we get to the physical activity, we've got to backtrack. What are the emotions that lead to the activities that we're doing and not doing? What is the thinking that leads to those emotions? And what are the beliefs that are leading to the thoughts, that are leading to the emotions, that are leading to those activities? So if you've ever struggled yourself with getting yourself to do something simple, it's not your fault. There are so many distractions trying to keep you from doing those simple things. But if we're not aware, once we become aware that there are influences that are nudging us off course, that is so easy to get off course, then we can be empowered to start to look back at what are those emotions, the thinking and the beliefs that need to be replaced. And when we replace those old beliefs, those old thoughts, and those old emotions, we automatically start to do the simple things over and over again. And we can listen to books like Atomic Habits, which is amazing for helping to establish those good habits and little strategies that you can implement to stay on point, just doing those simple things. Now, some of you are self-motivated and you're like, I've already mastered this. I'm already good at this. Whatever I put my mind to, I just do it. I don't understand people. Why are people? And you're trying to develop a team. You want to build a business, an organization where you've got productive people, but you've already somewhere in your life learned these principles, or you were developed well to where you're one of the 10%, if I'm being generous, that are self-motivated. You just do whatever you put your mind to. You do what you say you do. And then you look at 90% of the others and going, what is wrong with people? And it's driving you crazy. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this helps you. The other 90% are struggling with the internal things that are keeping them from doing the external things. Is this helping anybody? Put in the chat for me if this is helping anybody. So when it comes to leading, developing and leading self, developing and leading others, and developing and leading leaders, those are 3 layers of leadership. Developing and leading self, yourself, developing and leading others, and then developing and leading leaders who develop and lead others. Those are 3 layers of leadership development. For those who struggle with working with people or impatience with people, understand that we have to go back behind the behavior, behind the habits, behind the routines, and understand that there's some old beliefs that they're struggling with, old thinking and old emotions. And if you truly have a heart to serve, a heart to empower others, a heart to develop people, then understand what the internal struggle is and have some resources to offer the people that you're developing. Whether there's some books that you know that can help them, whether there's some environments that you can get them into that will help them develop, whether it's a coaching program. It bugs me to see so many people quit on their goals and dreams before seeking out coaching. It's like we don't think about that. We think, oh, I gave it all I've got, so I guess it didn't work for me, so it's time to quit. How many ever, be honest, how many ever quit something because you tried your best and it didn't work for you, right? Or you know people that have tried their best and it didn't work for you. But understand that's what coaching is for. When coaching, I reach out for coaching when I know I've taken myself as far as I can go. I invest in I've got all kinds of coaches and mentors that I invest in. I've invested multiple 6 figures in coaching and mentoring, not including formal education or college. And the return on investment is staggering. We know we have so much more potential that we tap into. The question is, how do we extract and release that potential inside of us? Good coaches and mentors. Good coaches and mentors. And I'm not just self-promoting here as a coach and a mentor. Whoever it is, I might not be the coach that you need in certain areas of life. Go find the coach, go find the mentor, invest the time, invest the money, get into the environment, whatever you've got to do. Don't you dare give up on you. You and your gift is more valuable than any job can ever pay you. When you really understand what's inside of you, you are worth way more than any job can ever pay you if you just allow yourself to develop into who you were truly born to be. So, so letter D is where the activity comes. And one thing I like to think about is remember that a tree grows down before it grows up. I've said this for years when this hit me. Trees grow down before they grow up. Trees grow down below the ground, below the surface, where it's invisible results taking place underground. Those roots are growing deeper, deeper, deeper underneath the ground before it ever breaks the surface, and we can see the tree growing above ground. And that's the same transformation process for us. It's the internal things below the ground is our old beliefs and replacing them with new beliefs. The old thinking, replacing it with new thinking. The old emotions, replacing it with new emotions. And then all of a sudden the activity starts to kick in. So the work that we've got to do before we can get to physical activity, if you're struggling to do activity, or someone on your team or in your family that you're developing or you're mentoring is struggling to do the behavior, the activity, go back and start with the underground work, changing the underground work before we can get to the outer work. The inner work comes before the outer work. All right. So E, once we get the habits and the behaviors and the routines going, and I like to say habits put results on autopilot. Letter E is replacing those old results. And when the new results show up, you're in stage 2 from that particular behavior, habit, or routine when those new results start to kick in. Notice stage 1 is not about results. Stage one is the internal part that so many people skip. And so that's stage two. So as a leader, our job description at stage one, the job description is to stay inspired, stay plugged in to the right environments, commit to personal development, transformation, leadership development. And by the way, hearing something is not the same as learning something. That's a big myth. Hearing is not the same as learning. Real learning takes place in the activity, the doing. That's when the real learning takes place, in the activity, the work. So if you ever catch yourself saying, I heard that before, so I know that, knowing doesn't come from hearing, knowing comes from doing. Wisdom is applied knowledge as well. And so remember that, teach that, and then be coachable to your coach. When you find a coach that is a worthwhile coach, someone who can help you grow past where you are, one, you owe it to yourself to find that person or those people. You might have a different coach for different areas of your life. In fact, professional athletes have different coaches for different aspects of their game. It's no difference being successful in the world of athletics than it is being successful in any other area of life. I want a coach for every aspect of my life. For my health, who's my mentor? Who's my role model for health? Who's my role model for wealth? Who's my role model for relationships? Who's my role model for leadership? And then who's my mentor? Who's my coach that I can develop myself and accelerate my growth in each area of life? But if I'm not coachable to my coach, what's the point of having a coach? If I'm only going to do the parts that my coach asked me to do that I agree with, I was already going to do that. That's in my comfort zone. My perfect purpose for investing in a coach is to get me to expand my comfort zone, to help me do what I wasn't already doing without my coach. So in order to get a return on that investment, I must be coachable to my coach. And the best way to measure my coachability is, what is it that I don't want to do that my coach is asking me to do, but I do it anyway because I trust my coach. My coach is not going to ask me to do something that's going to harm me. My coach is only going to ask me to do something that's going to take me further, closer to where I want to be and pull out more of the greatness inside of me. So choose a coach that you can trust, and then trust enough to do what they ask you to do, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. That's how you measure your coachability. What have I not done yet that my coach has asked me to do? All right, what's next on my list? Okay, so, all right, so replacing old results when the new results show up. Okay, so be coachable to your qualified coach. And that's what stage one is about. Part of me wants to pause right here and have some dialogue. The other part of me says, let me go through the overview first, and then we'll have some dialogue. So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so stage two, the producing stage. So remember, stage one was the wandering stage. It's kind of wandering through life with no direction, or even you can be in business and wander in your business. Like, there's no real direction, just kind of repeating the same year over and over, repeating the same quarter over and over. There's no real growth taking place, right? That's the wandering stage. Stage one is the internal transformation, which is the growing stage. And then stage two is where productivity starts to take place. Fruitfulness starts to take place. So stage two is I call the producing stage. How do you know you're here? And I say in my business, you're constantly qualifying for the consistency program. But think about whatever it is, you're producing results. Paul J. Meyer said, success is the progressive realization of a predetermined worthwhile ideal. A progressive realization. That means you're making progress, right? You're not perfect. You're taking imperfect action, but it's starting to be productive. It's starting to bear fruit. When that starts to happen, you're now at the producing stage. And so In business, I have an acronym. If anybody's read my book, there's a chapter where I talk about business is just a pipeline. Growing an organization is growing a pipeline of people, for example, a database of potential clients or contacts, with networks. So I have an acronym called pipelines in the book where I break that down. And the abbreviation, if you're in sales or recruiting or you're staffing your team in a nonprofit or whatever, you want to create a pipeline that is consistently growing and productive. But this also applies in our personal life as well. And so in our personal life, it's just what are the habits and routines that generate results that we start to produce. And as you start to produce the consistent results that you tend to produce in your life, in your business, in your organization, all of a sudden you become a model. You become a model. In fact, I encourage everyone that starts a business to really pay attention to how franchises work. Successful franchises, like chains of franchises. Somebody had a vision. Somebody figured out how to produce that vision. So maybe they were wandering through life at stage 0, and then one day they got an idea. Oh, Chick-fil-A, right? I get it, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Starbucks, they get this idea. And now they go from the wandering stage to the growing stage. The growing stage, they're thinking, I don't know if I have what it takes to start a Chick-fil-A. I got this vision to have stores across the country, to serve my recipe across the country, to make my music and put it in an album and serve the world, to take my product or service and serve it to the world, or take my mission with my nonprofit and impact lives around the world, my program, and have it in schools all over the world or all over the city. I got this idea, but I got all these internal struggles that are keeping me from implementing it. This is the growing stage, right? Or going from the wandering stage to the growing stage. But then I start to identify each and every one of those disempowering beliefs and disempowering thoughts and disempowering emotions, and I start to replace them with the truth. It's a lie that I don't have what it takes. And the truth is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I start replacing all of those lies with the truth. I start identifying, what are my self-limiting beliefs? What is the self-talk that's keeping me from producing the idea? Oh, it's too big, or it's too hard, or I don't know the right people, or I don't have the money. Where's the money going to come from? Where am I going to find the time? I'm so busy. All of these excuses and lies and distractions, this is when I start to replace them with the truth, all of a sudden, I empower myself to get into activity. Now I'm in the growing stage. I'm in the growing stage. I'm doing the activity. Now, in the beginning, the activity doesn't seem like it's working. It's not supposed to. When we plant seeds, when a farmer plants seeds in the garden or plant seeds, we're not supposed to see the plants grow immediately. It's that cultivation of the consistently planting the seeds, cultivating, watering, the sunshine, and over time, we reap what we sow. So in the beginning, I'm doing the activity, but it doesn't look like it's working. That seed has to go into the ground and die, and then starts growing underground before it ever starts growing above ground where I can see the results. So I have to remind myself of the truth that it is working. Just because it doesn't seem like it is working doesn't mean it's not working. And I have to remind myself of the truth. If I stay consistent doing what I can do and let others that are good at what they're good at do their part, let God do his part. If I just keep doing my part, everything else is going to work itself out. This is the growing stage. And now I'm moving to the producing stage, stage 2, when I'm doing the activity and it's producing results. It's producing results. Wow, I'm starting to see it. It's starting to work. Yay. It was working while it was invisible, but now I'm starting to see it. Now I'm in stage 2, the producing stage, where I can see the results. So some people think, isn't that the end? That's the end. No. If I stop at just producing myself, now I built my first Chick-fil-A. I built my first McDonald's. I built my first Starbucks location. I created my first album. I produced the first painting. I've got my product presentation down packed, or my service presentation, or my nonprofit proposal down packed, or my program in place, does God want me to stop there? Or does he want this thing to spread? Genesis chapter 1, 26 through 28 has some formulas in it. Woo! It's got some revelation in it. How many know when it comes to truth, it's deep? Truth is deep. Truth is deep. That means you can hear it and think you got it. You got the revelation, but there might be 100 other revelations that comes out of that same principle. And so there's a principle that says, and God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply, subdue the earth, replenish the earth and subdue it, and let them have dominion. I thought I understood that, but there's some deeper revelation that is also a principle for producing, for bringing the ideas that God gives us into fruition. So be fruitful. That means produce the idea. That's when you made the first CD, the album. That's when you created the first store. If you're in business, maybe you started your first weekly event for your business, or your weekly get together for your church or your ministry, or you put the first painting together, or you created your first online course, or you created your first book, right? You produced it. That's be fruitful. Now multiply. How do you multiply? Make multiple copies of it. You got multiple copies of the book. You got multiple copies of the CD. You got multiple franchise locations, business plans in place. You got multiple plans mapped out where you're going to have your weekly event for your business, or where you're going to have your weekly ministry meeting, or your weekly church service, or your weekly whatever. You know, you got you got prints. You not only made the painting, but now you have prints for the painting. Are y'all catching me? So I'm trying to catch a little bit of everybody in different avenues and walks of life. So now we're multiplying. We've got multiple copies of that idea. You baked the cake. One of my first business products was a cake. I baked the cake and sliced it up, took it to school, scared and shy. But I was on a mission, and the idea popped in my head: bake a cake and slice it up, sell the slices. So you make the first batch and then you reproduce it. You keep making more copies of it, right? The recipe. Or maybe you created a recipe like Betty Crocker. Thank you for Betty Crocker. She helped me develop myself as an entrepreneur, right? Because all I had to do was turn over the box, and she wrote out the steps. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly what steps to follow to bake a cake. And I found out, wow, when I follow those steps exactly the way she laid it out, the cake came out the way it was supposed to. But if I didn't follow the steps, it didn't come out right. So being fruitful for Betty Crocker was producing the cake. But multiplying was writing out the recipe step by step so that other people can produce that same cake. Anybody following me right now? Right? Oh, that was for you, Ms. Dykes. I was like, who am I talking to? Stuff just comes out, right? So she now took the recipe and wrote it out step by step. When you create a successful business as a franchise, that first business, you are being fruitful. But when you map out step by step, word for word, ABC, exactly how somebody else can run the exact same business in a different location, now you're multiplying. You're multiplying. Now multiple people can run one of these franchises because you spelled it out. You created a system for your business. You've got a binder. I'm a nerd, y'all. I didn't even know. Y'all didn't even tell me. I didn't know I was a nerd all these years. I should have known. But when I really want to learn something, I will read dozens of books. I'll find the best mentors. I'll go to the seminars. I'll invest thousands of dollars. I'll take it apart, put it together so that I can understand it and teach it. And then my mind turns it into the ABC 1, 2, 3 step-by-step process. So for example, in my first business, when I had turned my dorm room into a convenience store, and I had snacks and candy for sale. In high school, I had 5 lockers with snacks and candy for sale. Some of y'all probably went to high school with me. College, I turned my dorm room into a convenience store. I lifted my bed about 5 feet off the ground and put crates all underneath it. If anybody went to college with me, at Howard University. I produced the business, but I didn't multiply the business. I learned how to produce the business, but I didn't learn how to multiply the business, because that would have been teaching somebody else to implement, creating a binder step by step on everything I did to make that business profitable. And then I could sell that binder or license it for a fee for somebody else that wanted to duplicate that in their school. Are y'all catching me? That's multiplying. Multiplying would have been creating an online course and teaching them step by step how to do what I was doing. So many people ask me how to do it. I never thought to take what I did, systematize it so that I could license it to someone else, or sell the online course, or put it in a book where they could buy it. Multiple people could buy it. God is a God of fruitfulness. Fruitfulness. Can you all see when we apply these principles, biblical principles, there's no such thing as lack. There's no such thing as poverty. God has already given us a gift inside. He wants us to be fruitful. He wants us to multiply. Now, step 3 is to replenish. What does that mean? To replenish, how does that apply in business, in our gifts? What's the revelation here? Well, replenishes is keep the word supplied with it. Supply the world with it. Supply, keep the supply going. You know, I like alkaline water, right? So they keep supplying it. I can go back and get more and more when I run out of alkaline water, because somebody decided to replenish the earth with that same product over and over again. So keep replenishing it, replenishing it. So be fruitful, produce the idea that God has given you, multiply, make it so that it can spread and multiply. God is a God of multiplication. He'll set up something one time and then it'll keep self-perpetuating. We're creating in his image, right? So multiply, replenish the earth, and then subdue it. That's control the market, control the rights to it, control it, make sure that you are the dominant player in the market when it comes to your thing. Nobody can get Kentucky Fried Chicken except from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody can get Chick-fil-A except from Chick-fil-A. Nobody can get a Big Mac except from McDonald's. Nobody can get your version of what you do except through you. I don't care if 10 of us write a book on the same topic. We're all 10 different people, 10 different personalities. They can't get your book from me. They can only get your book from you, your story, your personality, your gift, your passion, your journey, your style, your flavor. But you got to own that bad boy. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, and subdue the earth, control the market, and then you'll have dominion. Then you'll have dominion. So anyway, wow, I didn't know that was going to come out. Somebody must have pulled that out of me. Who needed that tonight?
I needed that.
That was all stage 2, producing. But stage 3 is the coaching stage. Actually, stage 3 is the coaching stage. I call it the coaching stage. This description here is when you're now inspiring and equipping other people and other people to do what it is that you called to do. You're now developing others. In my business, that's what this verbiage is. But take what you do, coaching other people. Who is required on your team in order for your vision to come to fruition? Who is required? Who do you want to put on your team? There are people that are waiting for you to step into your vision. There are people that have the gift that you don't have. And they're waiting for you to share your vision, for them to go, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you. I've been looking to team up with you. And now all of a sudden you got people on your team that have the gifts that you don't have. Sometimes we're thinking, well, I don't have the money to hire that person. But when you're doing what God is asking you to do and you're acting on the ideas that God is giving you, he's already got the people. He's already got the people. Sometimes we think we're waiting for the people before we can build the vision. And God is waiting for you to step into the vision so he can send you the people. So stage 3 is the coaching stage. This is when you're developing a team. You're developing, you're helping others become producers as well. And then stage 4 is the freedom stage. The freedom stage. This is where you're now developing leaders. It's one thing to develop your team. It's another thing to start developing leaders. And when you've got enough the right leaders and managers in place that can keep it going without you having to be there, you have now put in place a legacy organization. You built something that will continue to grow and thrive with or without you. You've built something where you have freedom. You didn't trap yourself into a job. Most people start a business looking for freedom and end up trapping themselves in a job. I come from a performing arts background. I went to a school called Duke Ellington School of the Arts in Washington, D.C. And I was surrounded by some of the most amazing, talented, gifted kids on the planet. And I remember flying into town one day, my hometown in Washington, D.C., and I got a chance to see one of my friends perform. And I was so excited because she was just as good and even better than from high school. And I'm like, man, after the show, we got to talk. I said, man, you still got it. You're still crushing it. And she had this not so happy look on her face. I said, what's the matter? She says, well, back then when we were in school, I played because I loved it, because I wanted to. It was my passion. She said, now I have 5 children. I play because I have to. It's not a passion anymore. And it broke my heart, and it made me think, this is why freedom is important. And this is why I talk about the 7 steps to claiming your freedom and living your purpose. And I talk about the 3 paths. Path number 1 is to do something that creates passive income, residual income, that frees your time so we don't have to work. And I'm not even talking about, you don't have to be rich to have freedom. You can, if your bills are $5,000 a month and you've got $5,000 a month in passive residual income, you're free. You can use that 40, 50, 60 hours a week the way you choose. If your bills are $10,000 a month and you have $10,000 a month in passive residual income, you're free. You can focus on your calling, your passion, what you put on this earth to do. So option 1 is to create passive residual income, whether it's, even if it's outside of your calling, outside of your passion, or maybe while you're still figuring out your passion and your calling. Option 2 is to monetize your passion so that you are able to earn a living from your gift. And option 3 is a combination of both, where you have passive income that frees your time to do what you feel called to do, and you monetize your gift. And that was what I did. First, I was still figuring out my calling. I knew pieces of it, but I didn't know enough to be doing it, to live it. And so in that process, I started building passive residual income. I started developing myself as an entrepreneur. I started learning from people who had freedom. I didn't just want money. I didn't just want a paycheck. I didn't just want to make good profits. I did that in my self-employed business. I was making $300 a day in profit in high school, but I didn't have freedom. It was still a job. I wanted to learn freedom. That's why I studied Cash Flow Quadrant, and recommend you all do as well. Rich Dad's Guide to Financial Freedom, the Cash Flow Quadrant book. It's on audio, it's on Audible, it's on YouTube, it's in book form. I highly recommend studying how to transition from employee and self-employed into business owner, where we have freedom. But it's the guide. What I love about it is it doesn't just teach you the external things to do to have freedom. It teaches you the internal transformation journey to become free in that book. So that was the path I took. I started learning from mentors who had already created time and financial freedom, and surrounding myself with those mentors. First, it was real estate investing. I was investing a lot of time and money to go to seminars, and that was pretty expensive, but it was worth it. But when I found Legal Shield and learned about network marketing, I was surrounded by so many people in the company that were already free. And I took that as a school, super affordable. And that's how I learned how to create time and financial freedom. And then in the process of figuring out my purpose, I was able to take those skills that I learned and the skills I learned from other coaches and mentors and then create another 6-figure business in my purpose, which is my mentoring and coaching business. And now I have the nonprofit as well. So I did both. I created time and financial freedom in business outside of my specific calling. And then I learned to monetize my calling, my passion, my gift. And that gave me both paths. So let's open up the line. I know I covered a lot tonight. Hopefully you were taking some notes, but if you could raise your digital hands, I want to hear from you all. What was it that landed on you the most tonight? And I want you to think of what, if you can only implement one thing, what one thing are you going to implement this week in your journey? So what impacted you most tonight, and what are you going to implement this week, most importantly, in your journey, whatever that may be for you? Ms. Cullum, you want to kick us off?
Yes, very powerful, Coach. Thank you so much. My takeaway of everything that you said, all of it is really important, but you have to change the way you think about the way you think. And if you can do that, that's golden. That's the golden rule to success. It has to start there, because if you're not willing to change your mindset, get rid of those little voices in your head that keep telling you you can't, or you shouldn't, or maybe you should try it this way or that way, instead of following the plan, having a plan and following the plan, you have to have a different mindset to be able to do that. So that is the route to success.
Absolutely. And what are you going to implement this week towards your next level?
What I'm going to implement this week is, instead of thinking that, I don't have enough legs under me, I'm not growing my team, I haven't been successful in getting them on board. It's just to basically move on, build another team, build some more legs, create that new mindset instead of feeling stuck, like, I don't know where else to go. I'm doing everything right. What's happening? Well,
Awesome.
I have to change the way that I think about the way I think.
I love it. Everybody put up some hearts for Miss Pamela. Something that helps me for anybody, I know there's people here that can relate. Maybe you're building a team in your organization, whatever business you're in or organization you're building, and you're like, man, I need more good people. And this is something I learned from network marketing. And again, to me, I don't care what you think about network marketing, family. Sometimes the thing that we curse is the biggest blessing. And I know that, anything that's not done with integrity can give a bad taste, but network marketing is the best entrepreneurial development probably on the planet for the majority of people when it's done with integrity. So don't turn your nose up about network marketing. In fact, I wouldn't be here pouring into you all and the people you're bringing if it wasn't for the development I got in network marketing. God used network marketing to help me develop as an entrepreneur, to replace old thinking, to stop seeing myself as an employee or just a small business person and thinking bigger. A lot of things, overcoming my fear of speaking, overcoming my my fear of interacting with people, overcoming my shyness, thinking I'm not good at sales, I don't like sales. We're all in sales, whether we choose to be or not, right? We're all influencers. So anyway, when I think about building a team, and this is something that really helps, McDonald's is always hiring. Does McDonald's ever stop hiring? The correct answer is no. McDonald's never stops hiring. So there'll never be a time, if they're doing it right, where they go, man, I need a new team. Like I need like a new team. They always have new team because people constantly come and go in that business model, right? And so they have a continuous pipeline that never stops growing. So for those of you who have a network marketing business, and most of you should, if you don't, I recommend everybody build a network marketing business for like a year or 2 or 3, just for the skills and the development. But there's a term I hear all the time, I got to rebuild. And I know what people mean when they say that, I got to rebuild. but I don't like that term because it kind of comes with the undertone that I stopped building to begin with. And so that was the mistake right there. Like when you're building an organization, you know, a college never stops recruiting new students. The day they stop recruiting new students is the day that organization begins to die. A school, a sports team never stops looking for good talent. The day they stop recruiting new talent is the day that sports team begins to die. And so when it comes to building anything, if you never stop building, you never have to rebuild. That's my mindset. Just make a habit, make a lifestyle out of always building, and build a system that's always building, and build a team that's always building. And then we never have to, quote unquote, rebuild. That's the mindset that has helped me. Okay. Mr. Herring, we'll come to you next. Mr. Dunlap.
Okay.
Take it away, Mr. Herring.
Okay, so for me, B and C, replace old thinking habits, and you said repent, and then C, replace old emotions. You know, easy is something that I can do. Success is doing the easy things that that I can do. What I found in that was, with me, I got to the point where, and I'm talking about where I've been in the arts, is that I've been recreating myself in everything I do. Like, I create art, but then the next piece has to be better than that piece that I've done. But now people will ask me, they want the piece that I've just made. And I'm saying, no, I got to make you something different. So I'm making something, so I'm recreating the whole time. It's telling me the same thing with this business. They said, follow the system and you'll get there. In my business, I'm recreating myself every time to give someone a new piece of art when they want the one that I just done. They're happy with that. So I got to get to that mindset that, I have to use the system. And then that replaced my thinking and habits. And you said repent, that's the turn around to, think about it, just turn around and redo it. In everything I've been doing, I've been looking at something else, looking at all these other programs that were going on. I didn't look at myself, that I had everything I need. All I had to do is just look at what I have and go from that. So this year has helped me out tremendously. It's all right there. There's other things too, but yeah, you asked that.
Show them some love, everybody. I'm so glad you said that. I was just, I was in Tampa, Florida, and I met a sharp person. He makes kingdom arts, spiritually faith-based artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a coaching call the other day because he's transitioning into the coaching business. I mean, to building it as a more significant business. And he's been very successful. And that was one of the things that he said was his breakthrough, is that always creating something new. When it comes to a franchise, watch this, everybody.
Right.
The goal of a franchise is not to create something new in each store. The goal is actually the opposite. The goal is to keep it the same same concept in multiple places. And they say sometimes we're a mile wide and only an inch deep. So, for example, it's the musician who makes a hit song, but the world never gets to discover it's a hit song because they don't concentrate on promoting that one song to this city, and then the next city, and then the next city, and then the next city, and the next city. So the whole world gets to experience that one song and then go produce the next hit. But you get where I'm going with this. A Broadway show, when we go see, I went to see Hamlet. Oh my gosh, at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. It blew my mind. My mind is still blown. The Hamlet play. But it's about taking that same show. It's getting that one idea will change your life. One system will change your life. One offer can change your life. One business model can change your life if you just master that one thing. Master it, perfect that one thing, and spread it throughout the city, spread it throughout the state, spread it throughout the country, spread it throughout the world, and let the whole world get a chance to experience that thing. And there's never in history been a better time to do that than today. It used to cost millions of dollars to broadcast your message to the world. Now it's free with the click of a button in your phone. We can reach the whole world. So branding yourself, branding your message, branding your mission, there's never been a time in the history of the world where we can reach more people with our message, reach more people with our gift, reach more people with that one thing, that one script over and over and over and over and over again, that one idea, that one method over and over and over and over again. I'm telling you, we can change the world. Mr. Dunlap.
One thing, Coach, I've learned from observing you is you kind of put me in mind of a cake, because a cake has different ingredients, and it takes those different ingredients, then you put heat to it and make it rise. And so I have a person on here tonight that life happens. She had kind of got out the business, but I stayed in contact. I said, I pray that you're doing well. You stay in contact, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so being a combination, what I'm saying is you deal with people when they're up, and you deal with people when they're down, going through things. And so what you're doing, Coach Bell, this here is needed. I have people on here tonight. This right here is needed. And because I found out that this is it's like a piece of the puzzle. Like you see that something's not going on. This is a piece of the puzzle, right here. And I believe that I try to invite more and more people on. You can kind of get a feel of people, because if people just do just business, you need to be well-rounded. You need to be able to reach out and grab somebody's hand. And I believe that when you do this, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, then all these things, they will be added unto you. The harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. And I believe this right here is just like that tree. It grows down, and the bigger the tree goes, the deeper the roots are. And that's what I wanted to just pass on.
Well, hey, thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for caring about people beyond business and making that impact. In fact, somebody's thanking you right now in the chat for being there for them. So we love you. Show some love in the chat, everybody, for Jerry as well. All right, Miss Selena Scott, what landed on you tonight, and what are you going to implement?
I'm gonna go back in my notes. Because I can't be on here because I've been taking notes all night. But Coach, can I say something on your behalf? Guys, I really just want to say something. I'm one of the people that's been on here since Coach been doing this. And just a couple of housekeeping rules. Coach asked us to get on. Y'all got to understand, this man is a millionaire. He does not have to do this. He do this out of the kindness of his heart. He do it because this is what God called him to do. And he asked us to all get on camera because if you were sitting at the front of the room, think about it. Consider yourself. That's the word of God. Consider if you were sitting at the room and you was looking at a whole bunch of black screens all night. He say, engage with me, talk with me. I want to see all of your teeth. And then it's only like 5 people on out of 20-some people. That's rude and disrespectful, y'all. And then this is not a place where you come to network. We're not here. We're not buying cake and cookies. We're not buying soup or nothing. This is the supernatural. We are the supernatural. Engage in this conversation. That's why we're here. This is a spiritual connection that we are all having if we're all paying attention. So y'all, please hold those type comments. When I'm in the chat, yes, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes for me because I take the notes and I screenshot it. And then I'm also taking notes and you can have them for yourself. But please, let's not have no sidebar conversations or anything like that because that's rude to Mr. Coach Farbell. And he does this all day long, y'all, all day long. So let's give him our respect. Let's give him our attention and, be blessed. And I'm sorry, Coach, but I ain't like that. I'm sorry. So what I got from that, what my note was, I'm gonna look at it really quick because you said something about from the root. I'm gonna look. I'm taking notes, so I got to go to my gallery real quick. But hold on. It said coaches. Here we go. Trees grow down before they grow up. And then you said same internally for us. The work we must do, what we struggle with. Go back to the inner work before you can do the outer work. And then allow yourself to develop. Don't give up on you. So that's that was good. That trees grow down before they grow up because they have to be rooted. Amen. And so they got to get their roots before they can grow. And that was just some food for thought, just something to think about because we're all, whether you're spiritual or whether some of us we are here business people and stuff, but I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, and you do have sometimes where business is going to be good and then business is going to be slow. But also when you start your business, you got to start your business. Number one, you have to invest. This is a part of the investment, by the way. You invest in yourself. Sometimes there are many ways to invest: time, money, all that kind of stuff. So this is a part of the investment. You have to invest in yourself, invest in your business. You have to have that development. And that's what this is. This is a part of it. So that was profound. I mean, the way you put it, I didn't think about it like that. But I don't want to take up too much more time because of the first half of what I did. But just stay plugged in, and like you said, starting over. We say in the business, oh, I just got to start over. No, you're right, Coach. We just got to stay plugged in. You got to stay committed. You got to stay in the game. Like you said, I was on something. Put me in, Coach. Put me in the game. We got to stay in the game. We got to wanna be next, like baseball, or get off the bench. You know what I'm saying? I play sports. I could tell a whole bunch of sports that I played. And then that's why I had the tenacity, the drive, the longevity. I just ask questions, but you can't never give up on you. If you give up on you, what you gonna do? Because
absolutely
everybody else got to live their own life. So if you don't invest in you, you don't believe in you, you give up on you, or you stop asking questions, or you stop showing up and you stop plugging in, you'll never make it. You might take a pause, get something to drink. That's what you do even in any sport you play, so you don't overexert yourself and pass out. So like me right now, I'm regrouping because I'll say this and be done. I was on another call this morning, and a statement I made is we go to all of these different conventions, conferences, Zoom calls, reading books, and all of this stuff. And that's great. But the problem is we come home and we hit the floor running, and we're still doing the same thing we've been doing. We're not implementing nothing new. You learned a whole bunch of new information, but you're not implementing any of it, because you haven't given yourself a chance to pause, go back and read your notes, pull out those nuggets that you wrote down, rewrite the script, praise God, and so that you have fresh eyes on some fresh information, some new information that you can implement into your business. What is insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, think you're going to get a different result? No. So if you spend the money, spend the time, spend the airfare, you still have to come back and be still and do something different. We're not doing anything different. And that's why we're stuck and we're stagnant. And no, y'all listen, no, that's not what I want for me. I don't want that for anybody here on the call. I digress. Thank you for the time, Coach. Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing as well. Show some love to Miss Scott. I saw Miss Brown. I don't know if she's still here.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, awesome. What impacted you and what are you going to implement this week?
Well, Ms. Scott was kind of touching on the trees, so I kind of and for me, when you said the trees about the roots, when I think about the trees, when you said it, the first thing I thought of was new growth. Branches, my business growing, because with those branches, when they do fall and they fall to the ground, then you have new roots again. So you continuously are making your franchise because you're steady looking upward versus worried about that root at the bottom. And the second part for me was stage 2 is that's the stage that I'm in, and that's producing more than what I'm doing now. So that's my take.
And what are you going to implement this week? And I want everybody post that in the chat. Put something that you're going to implement this week in the chat. Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
This week I'm actually going to Georgia and I'm doing my little franchises with the flea markets again. So that's my little franchising thing, and I'm keeping it moving.
Now, what are you going to do this week that you would not have done before you got on the call tonight?
Actually getting with my team and finding out where they are and how they want to grow. And that's what
awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Show some love, everybody. And that's what we're looking for, you all. Again, we can hear stuff, learn stuff. But it's not until we apply something that the real learning takes place. And that's my prayer for everybody. And when I'm on here, I'm talking to myself too, like my next level, my next growth as well. What stage am I on right now in different areas? And sometimes I'm on one stage in one season and I'm on a lower stage in another season. And it's time for me to implement the next piece. It's an ongoing process. But what my prayer for everyone is to implement something this week that you would not have implemented so that you can get a return on this investment of time that you just made in yourself. All right, CEO Mehdi will wrap up with that one. Give us what impacts you, what are you going to implement this week?
Great evening, Coach. I just want to tell you what's the difference between your coaching and other coaching. Probably most people, they don't know about it, because maybe you have same topic once a while, but your vocabulary is different in network marketing, not in the network, in the personal development. That's the differentiation between you and other coaches. Because you means whatever mean you telling us the truth, because you had many coaches like Mr. Les Brown, Jim Brown. Every time you're using other coaches, I'm talking about, to show that you are master, PhD, doctor in philosophy of networking, because you went through many coaches and your vocabulary is different. Because right now I listen to some respectful coaches that makes $1 million a year in coaching, but that person used the same words, same slides, and makes over $1 million a year or month. Same word. Go take a look at YouTube, but yours is different. I cannot say anything more than that.
Appreciate that.
You spend much, I don't know, $100,000, $200,000 for your coaching. Get many coaches.
It's been a journey. I've been on this.
I
started
have
my
to tell you true. Your vocabulary again. You have same topic, but your vocabulary, your delivery is different.
Well, I appreciate that, and I hope that it lands on people. I try to give it the way that I try to speak to different people in different places.
That's priceless,
so that it
that's
lands.
priceless.
And before you go, what would you say you're going to implement this week the
I'm
most?
going to implement, expand my. I want to
wait a minute.
expand my.
Let me mute the lines here. 1 second.
It's a blue one.
Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself again, Mehdi.
I want to implement to go out and do my best and expand and recruit many my leadership franchisee and plug them with the system and bring them to your coaching and or company coaching, because our job is connecting. I don't have to be a coach. I don't have to be a mentor, but I can connect people to your coach. I want to connect as many as people I can with the coaching. Coach, thank you. I love you. Thank you.
All right, love you too, brother. Show some love to Mehdi, everybody. And I see you, Miss Tony. We'll wrap up with you. And thank you all for the comments. I see you all putting in the chat, what are you going to implement this week? I love it. I see you. Miss Cullum, love it. I see Miss Noemi, awesome. I see you, Tawana Foster. I see you, Mr. Hank Dunlop. Angela Church, love it. Implementation. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Implementation. Miss Tony, take it away.
What I got out of this week is that even when I'm just consistently doing the small things, consistently, that is progress. Even though I don't see any fruit from it, the fact that I'm consistent in those small things in our 5 core, as we call it, then that is progress, because there was a time when I was not consistent. And then what I'm going to implement this week is I'm going to try my best to keep a diary, or a listing anyway, of thinking and beliefs and emotions that I need to counteract, so that I can get them out of the way and not have them be roadblocks even subconsciously. So that's where I am.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. Show some love for Miss Tony, everybody. And I have a request for everyone. If you have any questions or topics that I've covered that you want us to expound upon, questions or things that you want us to cover on here, reach out to me, whether it's replying to one of the emails, whether it's commenting in the social media, or just send me a direct message. I'm at Coach Fard Bell on everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, primarily Facebook or Instagram. Send me a message if you got something I think might be a good topic or a question that's pressing. And I'll be taking a look at that as we produce the topics on Monday nights. We do this every Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time for mentoring. This is not about any one particular business. In Legal Shield, many of you are in Legal Shield with me, but this is not just about Legal Shield. This is about becoming the leader you were born to be, and the principles cross over into whatever we're doing, whether you're in your career, in your family, in your life, whether you're starting a traditional business, whether you're discovering what your gift is that you're serving to the world or learning to monetize it. This is where we have some mentoring. And for those who want to go deeper and you want coaching, reach out to me. I have group coaching programs, and I have one-on-one coaching programs. I don't take too many one-on-one clients because of the time. I love doing it, but it's just not that much time in the world. But for those that want coaching, there's coaching available. But we do this free. I do this for free through the nonprofit because as we all step into who we were born to be, what we were born to do, and we start to have those breakthroughs in our identity and our self-image and our self-worth, that will overflow into every aspect of our lives, and we all get to rise together. I love how John C. Maxwell says a candle never loses anything by lighting another candle. And so let's continue to let our light shine. Join the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/BornCEO. In fact, Ms. Faith might have just put it in the chat. Yep, I think Ms. Faith just put it in the chat. But go to www.BornCEO.com if you need more information or how to get into the Facebook group where we post a replay here, and the YouTube channel as well. So family, have a great week. Go out there, implement something from tonight. If something hits you that was an impact for you, send us a message. I love to hear the breakthroughs. I love to hear the stories. It encourages me. It encourages me to keep going, lets me know that this is making a difference. So reply to the email, send us what's happening, your progress, and come back next week. And we want to hear your next level of growth, what you're working on, what your dream is, and hear that confidence, hear that clarity. And we look forward to it. That Facebook group is called the Born CEO Movement on Facebook. And we'll get you added to the group when you request it. But love you all. Have a great week. We look forward to catching you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
You
Thank
too.
you, Coach.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Coach. Everybody be blessed. Have a safe week.
Shalom.
you.
Night, everybody.
Let's go, Born CEOs.
Let's go.